What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video. Taco Tuesday, February 7, 2023. 6 games on the NBA slate. We got a lot to dig into. But first, I thought we'd start by recapping our 4 picks from yesterday. We went 2-2 on the day with Sabonis and Christian Wood not coming through for us. But we did have Jordan Poole over 32.5 PRA and Nick Claxton over 39.5 fantasy points coming through for us. And I just want to extend a very deep apology for suggesting Christian Wood. I did not realize he would be coming off the bench, which obviously severely limited his upside. Did not even sniff his fantasy score and wasn't even a factor in this game. And in hindsight, Dallas was probably just rolling him out there to prove to other teams who are interested in acquiring him in a trade that he is healthy, his thumb is fine, and they are ready to move forward with a swap. So my bad on that one. Sabonis was still in a good spot, and I would still take him today if he was playing the Rockets. Just didn't get it done for us yesterday, but very happy with Claxton and Poole going over their props. So moving forward to today, we're looking to go undefeated with our props, and I do have quite a bit to go over, and I just want to dig into it. Some notes to cover, as well as some players who are definitely in play. And I'm just going to spit through these pretty quickly so that I do not take up all your afternoon. You can always rewatch the video or drop me a comment if you need more clarification on something. But without further ado, let's go. New York and Orlando. Here's what I like from this game. Jalen Brunson, especially now that his points have been dropped for the Tuesday Taco. I like the over on that one. But prior to the Tuesday Taco Tuesday, I like the over on his rebound or his points and assists. And then I like his assist line alone as well. Julius Randle over his assists looks good to me. I would not play these two in the same lineup though. And then the under on Julius Randle rebounds looks good to me. Julius Randle, over his last 5 games, has seen a huge decline in his rebounds. I know we're used to seeing those monster double-doubles, but it's been quite some time since we've seen one of those performances that makes our jaws drop. So right now, over his last 5 games, Julius Randle is averaging 10 rebounds, still averaging roughly 12 over those last 10. Home-away splits, something to note. At home, he plays much better, hitting that prop 7 out of 10 times, but on the road, 5 out of 10 times, not as good. So if that means something to you, then use that bit of information towards your research and towards constructing your slips. On the Orlando Magic side, we like Paolo Banchero over his we pretty much like their whole front court over rebounds. Less Wendell Carter than I did before since it got bumped to 9, but I still like his prop. If it goes up to 10, I don't like it. But Banchero over 6.5 and Wagner over 4.5, or excuse me, over 4. Really, really like those plays for the Orlando Magic. And that's going to do it from this game. Moving on, we're going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's clear this board and let's head on over to Atlanta. And who I like the most on the New Orleans side is Brandon Ingram over 35.5 points. Believe it or not, Brandon Ingram over 2.5 turnovers. And Trey Murphy over 13.5 points. I spit out some stats last night how Brandon Ingram has increased his field goal percentage and points per game every single game since being back from injury. He just looks like his old self, and that's great. So I think he's in a great spot tonight versus the Atlanta Hawks. He is this team's offense right now. Until Zion comes back, Brandon Ingram is the man on this team. And even with Zion back, it's like 1A and 1B, to be honest with you. So Brandon Ingram is in a great spot tonight. Now his turnovers, don't scratch your head too much on this one. However, Brandon Ingram is prone to turnovers. And since being back in the lineup and being back from injury, he is regaining his turnover form as well. Anybody who has a high usage rate, like a Brandon Ingram, is prone to turnovers. It's just going to happen. The more you handle the ball, the more possibilities there are to turn it over. Now, over his last 5 games, he's averaged 4 turnovers. This is what we want to pay attention to because this is since he's been back from injury. Even prior to the injury, he was averaging 3 turnovers over that time span. But 3 turnovers in his last 2 games. It is possible to turn the ball over 3 times and hit your PRA. It is possible to be. It is possible to do both. You can hit point props and still turn the ball over. So keep that in mind when you're constructing your slips. This one stands out to me. Trey Murphy over 13.5 points. Last time these two teams met was way back in the day, back in November or October or some date back then. November 5th. Trey Murphy is not the same player. He is more confident. He's taking more shots. He's more efficient from the field. And he's playing more minutes. He's averaging 30 minutes. He had 17 minutes against Atlanta that game. He's averaging 32 minutes over his last 10 and 33 over his last 5. Double-digit shot attempts over his last 10 and over his last 5 games. And his three-point attempts have gone up. I like Trey Murphy. I think his points are in play on the over. All right, moving on. Going into the next game, we got OKC and LA. And I know the talk of the town is LeBron James. I do not like his point prop. I do not think this is going to happen tonight. I like the under on his point prop. I'm actually not playing any LeBron James props tonight. I'm just saying that if you're going to do anything with his point props, I'd go under. It was at 32.5. Now it's at 31.5 because too many people were playing the under on it. So they have to change it. Prizepicks had to change it. So I still like the under on this. But the guy I do want to talk about is Russell Westbrook over his 13.5 points tonight. 3 out of his last 5 games, he's cleared this. Now on the season, Russell Westbrook, when he's not getting pulled out of the fourth quarter and riding the bench in crunch time, Russell Westbrook is giving you, double-digit shot attempts every single game. He's giving you 30-plus minutes every single game. And over his last 10 games, he's giving you 16 points and 14 points over his last 5. Just great production from him. Good history versus OKC as well. I don't care about the revenge narrative thing. He's played for like 10 teams in the NBA. It's watered down by now. But just look at the matchup and look at the facts. He's in a great position tonight. I mentioned yesterday that I did like SGA because you can shred the Lakers' defense by way of guard play. So Shea is in play for me, but 30 points. He needs 31 points tonight. Coming off a bad loss to Golden State yesterday. I say he's in play, but I personally will not be playing Shea Gilgeous-Alexander tonight. But I do stick by the stats. How you hurt the Lakers is through point guard, shooting guard play. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a good one. So you can go there. You could take the over on his points, which he'll need 31 to clear. So Anthony Davis, talk about him for a second here. I like his forgot there's an Anthony Edwards here. So it's just bringing up every Anthony ever. Okay, 12.5 over rebounds. 14 rebounds back-to-back games. OKC doesn't have an answer for him on the glass, in the paint. If this game stays close enough and he doesn't get pulled, like if they're trying to save his legs for the game against Milwaukee on Thursday, because that's supposed to be the primetime game of the year, I'm thinking now with this record to be broken. If all goes right tonight and nothing gets like in the way, I think he clears 12.5 rebounds for sure. I like the over on Anthony Davis rebounds. He's in play. So that's Lakers and OKC. Moving on, Phoenix and Brooklyn. So Dinwiddie could make his debut tonight. Brooklyn's on the second night of a back-to-back. No Brooklyn Nets props have dropped because I know we're waiting on the news to see. Oh, never mind. Here we go. It's just Royce O'Neal. Nick Claxton. Here's what to know for this game. Okay, Dinwiddie could make his debut. Cam Thomas is coming off a career night. His props should drop. They should be inflated a little bit. Devin Booker comes back from injury. I don't expect him to just resume his form first game back. So I'm actually looking at playing the under on his points and playing the under on his PRA here. I don't even think he plays 30 minutes tonight. This could be one of the last games that we can actually take the over on DeAndre Ayton points and rebounds, because once Devin Booker is back to his old self, DeAndre Ayton kind of gets moved back to that third role, that third option on the team. So this could be a night to take his points and rebounds. I like the over on that. Just seeing what Ivica Zubac did to this Brooklyn front court yesterday. I love Nick Claxton's upside in the future for this kid, but man, he let Zubac just have his way last night, and Zubac finished the game with 31 points and rebounds. We need DeAndre Ayton over 28. We need him at 29 tonight. So I just like the way this is shaping up for Ayton tonight. I like his points and rebounds versus the Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully this game can stay close. Like I said, Brooklyn is on the second night of a back-to-back. One thing to keep in mind, once these point guard props start dropping for Brooklyn, Phoenix in 2023, point guards versus Phoenix in 2023 are averaging 24 points a game and 20 field goal attempts a game. So something to keep in mind when these props drop for Cam Thomas, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Sumner. All right, Chicago, Memphis. Chicago is on the second night of a back-to-back. Last time these two teams played, I think Morant dropped 45 on them. Desmond Bane had a terrible game, going 1 for 7 from three-point range, which is well below his season average of 44%. DeRozan and Levine combined for 59 points, going 40% from the field. Steven Adams was healthy, pulled down 21 rebounds, really held Vucevic in check. Without Steven Adams in the lineup, I think Vucevic is in play for sure. But who I want to talk about is Desmond Bane, whose line did get bumped up from 19.5 points to 21. I still like it, and I like his three-pointers even more. So if I had to choose one of the two, I'm choosing over 2.5 three-pointers for Desmond Bane. And then secondly, 21 points, over 21 points for Desmond Bane. Staying in the same game, I tell you who I don't like the over on is basically anything Dylan Brooks is prop for. I like the under on his fantasy, and I like the his PRA is not available. Well, I like the under on his fantasy for sure for Dylan Brooks. Over his last 10 games, he's gone over 20 PRA only one time. Hasn't even come close. Hasn't even come close. 9, 11.5, 14.5, 15.9, 13.9, 9, 12, 16, 17. I mean, 17 points. That's 21. That's 22, 23.5, 26.5, 25.5, 10, 15, 19.5, 22.5. I mean, I just don't like Dylan Brooks's. I just don't like Dylan Brooks tonight over his fantasy points. I just don't. This is like a personal play for me, so I'm not telling you that you have to play it, but like this under for me really stood out for Dylan Brooks tonight versus the Chicago Bulls. One play from the Chicago Bulls that I do like is DeMar DeRozan. Over his point prop of 26.5. Fantasy score 41.5. I like his point prop 26.5. And what is going to be a pace-up game for DeMar DeRozan tonight. His road home splits are for real. We talked about this last time. I questioned it. The question was answered against San Antonio. He only put up 19 points against San Antonio at home. At home this year, he's averaging 25 points a game, 21 over his last 5, 25 over his last 10. On the road, 27 over his last 10, 26 over his last 5. These are real. I like him to bounce back tonight. I like him over his 26.5 points tonight versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And that is all from this game. Last game, Minnesota and Denver. I do like Jamal Murray tonight. 24.5 is his point prop. I like the over on this because he has just been in a groove lately. And he did miss the last game these two teams played. So he's rested. He's ready to roll. I do like this line for Jamal Murray. And I think when you talk about Denver, you got to talk about Jokic, who's basically prop for a triple-double. Like literally prop for a triple-double. 24, 13, and 11. I like the over on his points And I like the over on his fantasy score because to me this is attainable. This is doable. But if I had to choose one, I'd go over on his points for sure for Jokic. So that's what I like from this game. Now on the other side, I know a lot of people are on Anthony Edwards' assists, but when you look at this line of 5, he's gone over this one time in his last 5 games. When I pull up his game log, go over to assist, he's not even averaging 5 assists over his last 5 or 10 games. I understand that he's come close to hitting it, but this does nothing for us. This hook does nothing for us. So I'm not even going to play the under on this. I'm just not going to play it. But I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because I think that's a very, very popular pick right now. I'm just not on it personally. I'd be more tempted. You could convince me to play D'Angelo Russell over on his points tonight at 18.5. And then also D'Angelo Russell over on his 3-pointers. No 3-pointers. Damn. That's a good one. When we can get his 3-pointers under 2, like around 2.5 or 3, that's a good one. Yeah, so I'm more tempted to play D'Angelo Russell over on his points than I am Anthony Edwards over on his assists. So that's going to do it as far as research and notes. Now, let's talk about some ways we can go with some of these props. Now, I'm still real big on Banchero over 6.5 rebounds. Mo Wagner over 4 rebounds in that Orlando game. And then I do like Jalen Brunson over his taco points of 21.5. Obviously, that's a little too low. I like that. And I think that I don't think there's anything wrong with going with that Jalen Brunson prop as one of your picks tonight. But aside from the taco, obviously I'm going to pick that one now because you cannot pick that one. But I like Franz Wagner over his rebounds of 4. We'll go ahead and pair that up with Jalen Brunson over his points of 21.5. And I like Brandon Ingram tonight over his PRA of 35.5. So Wagner over his rebounds 4, and then Brandon Ingram over his 35.5 PRA. Those two I really, really like. I mean, there's so many props on this game or on this slate that I like as well. And I'm not just going to only play Brandon Ingram and Mo Wagner, but for this video, these are the two that I like, and these are the two that I'm going to roll with for our YouTube picks, along with Jalen Brunson over his Taco Tuesday prop of 21.5 points. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's video. Real quick, there seems to be a lot of concern or a lot of chatter about my credit, my money on Prizepicks. What you see on the screen is not what's in the account, and I've learned the hard way through many, many mistakes in terms of bankroll management and what not to do. And personally, the less money I have to play with per day, the better for me in the long term, because the more money that's in that account, the more money I win, the more money I turn around and give right back to Prizepicks. And I've learned the hard way. Withdraw every single day. You can withdraw a minimum of $10 every single day. Even if you just win $10 every day and you withdraw $10 every day, that's $70 every week that you're putting back in your pocket. It makes a huge difference. So what you see on the screen isn't always what is available to me or what has been won in previous slips. So if that concerns you at all, it shouldn't. But I just wanted to clarify that because I think it's pretty comical, the attention that's getting over the last few videos. So maybe I will create a bankroll management video on what not to do as to help people out there in terms of how to manage their funds over on Prizepicks, because I've made a lot of mistakes. I can probably write a book about it for sure. So thank you once again for stopping by the channel and checking this video out. Drop me a comment below letting me know who your favorite picks on the board are, who you have your eye on, who have you locked in. Also, let me know what you think about this research, these looks into today's slate, and what you think about these final 2 picks, Franz and Brandon Ingram, that I'm going to be rolling with. Leave me a comment below letting me know your thoughts. And thank you once again for just stopping by the channel, helping this channel get over 1,200 subs. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for all the support. And until the next video, tomorrow's early look video, Chavez is out.